Take a perfectly kosher piece of meat. Then take a perfectly kosher glass of milk. Separately, they are entirely permissible to consume, but at the exact moment they touch, they become strictly forbidden. Traditional kosher laws operate on an internal religious system. Instead of following standard secular deduction, you accept the rules as they are and build upward from that foundation. This specific restriction has caused significant friction over the years. In 1885, classical Reform Judaism found the ban so incompatible with modern life that they officially scrapped it, calling it foreign to their spiritual state. Yet today, Orthodox and conservative Jews rigorously maintain the rule. They follow the authority of the oral Torah, the rabbinic laws held to be as vital as the written text itself. Modern attempts to justify these rules often point to health benefits or ethical labor practices. But these frameworks fail to explain why a single drop of milk falling onto a steak is considered a spiritual violation. This leaves us with a lingering question. There is no obvious, logical, or universally agreed upon reason why these two specific foods cannot mix. Finding a deeper meaning requires looking past surface-level explanations of hygiene or animal welfare and treating this dietary rule as a specific historical question that has yet to be answered. For centuries, prominent scholars have attempted to identify the logic behind the meat and dairy taboo. The philosopher Maimonides suggested it was a reactionary ban against ancient, idolatrous pagan practices common in the Near East. Other scholars, particularly within Protestant circles, theorized that combining meat and milk was actually an ancient magical ritual meant to increase the fertility of the land. Philo of Alexandria leaned toward an ethical argument that it is simply cruel to take a baby animal and cook it in the very milk meant to sustain its life. Some sociological views suggest the rule creates a deliberate social barrier, making it difficult for observant Jews to assimilate at non-Jewish dinner parties. These theories offer plausible historical reasons for a rule to exist, but they stop short of providing a deep spiritual meaning for this specific culinary combination. A new perspective emerged when scholars Alan Cooper and Nicole Ruane began analyzing the ancient texts through the lens of gender studies and spatial anthropology. In this framework, milk is recognized as the quintessential feminine fluid, a classification that appears consistently across these ancient texts. By contrast, red meat and blood function as intensely masculine substances, both in the culture of the time and in the specific rituals of the Bible. Mapping these symbols onto the ancient Holy Temple reveals a strict hierarchy. The entire sacrificial system was operated exclusively by male priests in a strictly patriarchal mode. At this site in ancient Israel, masculine offerings of meat and blood were the focus of cultic worship. Feminine entities like milk and honey were kept entirely separate from the sacred altar. The ban functions as a translated ancient ritual law, prohibiting the blending of masculine flesh and feminine fluid within any space designated as sacred. This raises the question of why ancient temple rituals would dictate what someone eats in a contemporary home. Rabbinic theology holds that the family dining table is a miniature replica of that ancient temple altar. By observing these daily food rules, everyday Jews act in the role of ancient priests, striving to maintain purity and sanctity within their own kitchens. This points to a central tenet of orthodoxy. Religious sanctity is achieved through strict physical and social segregation. This philosophy is visible in synagogues that use mechitza dividers to separate men and women, and in schools that maintain separate classes for boys and girls. That same social separation is mapped onto the dinner plate. Separating meat and dairy serves as the ultimate symbolic segregation of the masculine and the feminine. The kosher man transforms every meal into a daily reinforcement of boundaries. It is a worldview of strict separation that places this ancient culinary code in unapologetic tension with modern secular culture.